You recording, Ryan? All right. Well, how's it going, fellas?
What's going on, Isaac?
How y'all doing?
Man, it's a good day to be breathing, brother.
Hell yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Isaac Jacob. This is the first episode ever of After the Gigs podcast, and I got my good friend, Mr. Kelly Kenning, and Mr. William Stewart, but we call him Bill. How you doing, Bill?
Good.
You're doing great. What are you doing in Texas, man?
I'm starting over, ready for a new chapter. It's going to be the Texas chapter.
Hell yeah, you had a good time the last time you were here.
Oh, yeah, we did.
That's when...
we all met then, 2014.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah, I need that again in my life. I'm ready for good, happy, positive, good shit.
We're going to be writing some songs.
Yeah.
Hell
Doing
yeah.
music
Man.
again. It's time for a nice, good chapter.
Well, Texas missed you, man. I'm glad you're here.
Me
We
too.
did, too. We talked
Yeah,
about
buddy.
you all the time.
10 years flew. I mean, does that feel like that was 10 years ago?
It was like
2014?
like
Goes
two.
by quick.
God, man, this feels like 2 years. 2 years.
Well, fuck. Time flies when you're having fun. What were you doing before you came to Texas?
Santa Fe up in the Nambe Reservation. Tewa Indians. I lived on a cattle ranch for 7 years and finished raising my kids. My son lived with me his last few years and graduated. And now he's in Denver. So I got the whole empty nest syndrome too. It's hard. It's hard on the old man.
Oh,
Got an empty nesting and a broke back. So we had spine surgery last year, and we're starting over.
Yeah. Good place to start.
yeah. Especially now that you got me and Kelly here to kind of
Yeah.
help your back.
Yeah.
Get your back.
Give me something to laugh at and shit.
We're talking. You think? Biden's who?
Sleepy Joe.
Yeah. You don't think it's really Joe Biden?
Kelly thinks
I
it's-
have my wonders.
Yeah.
Kelly said it's Hillary Clinton.
I didn't say that.
Who did? Where'd you hear this? I want to know.
It was one of those changes
Oh,
people are having.
you see things on the internet nowadays. I don't know. The dude was scratching the back of his neck, and it looked like a Halloween mask was like peeling up.
It could
And
be
somebody
Hillary
said, "Oh my
Clinton.
God,
I think
that's a
it's- I
mask."
think it's because he's like 95. It's just
It might
kind of
be
peeling off.
Hillary.
Just that skin peeling up.
Kelly, you said you're going to be going to Nashville pretty soon?
Yeah, man, going up there to tweak on some mixes and see some friends play at the Opry, and
Hell
you
yeah.
know, Bill Krager and Roger Craig are gonna sing on the Opry, and Clint Black will be singing up there, and,
Oh, man, you're going to be some good company
And,
then.
and then gonna go to the studio and tweak on some mixes and go have a couple of meetings while we're up there, and fly on back.
Damn right. We'll be safe on that Cessna.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, man, that's the first time. I've never done that before. I'm thinking about taking one of those Walmart bags with me to kind of hang over my ears.
Man, you'll be all right. Hopefully.
Or you won't.
Oh, you won't. Yeah, at least it'll be quick.
Be talking about the Buddy Holly story.
Yeah.
I'm telling. Nah,
Richie
no.
Valens.
We're gonna
We got
fly right through this one,
Positive
baby.
thoughts.
And we're gonna fly right through this one, baby.
You're going to
John
be all right.
Denver.
Well, Kelly's not going to be on that list.
No.
So basically, this being the first podcast, I had an idea, and I've had it for a few years on just talking to people that are, either in the music business or do gig work, whether it's in the music or not. If you're just entrepreneur or a small business owner or a big business owner, just talking about what you've done in the past and what you got going in the future. So I know, Bill, you've been out of the Texas loop as far as music goes, but you've been having some gigs down here, huh?
Yeah, I've been doing a few with Kelly, just
He's getting his feet wet
getting my
again.
feet wet again.
Yeah.
Trying to remember the damn songs.
But you just, man, what really Drew,
getting your fingers tough again.
You got to get them calluses back.
Get the
baby.
calluses back.
Whenever you and I first met, we had both moved to New Braunfels and River Road, and you were living at the Lost and Found, right?
Yeah.
And I was living at Koozies behind the bar in my little FEMA trailer. And we did a gig there, and then Kelly showed up with our good buddy Jeremy Foy.
Yeah, man.
And that was kind of, I've been listening to you since I was in high school. Broken Bones that you had, and then the Flame song that Tony Ramey.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, man. Boy, that's well, that album was from 2004. I started recording in 1985.
Yeah,
believe it or not, man. I picked up the guitar in 1981 and started learning how to play. I sang my first time at the Inn of the Mountain Gods in Ruidoso, New Mexico. There's this guy up there with the piano, and and I got up there and sang with him, and he had the words. I mean, that was way back before the days of the screens with the prompts. Now, this was back when you read it out of a book, and I could actually read. I could see those things without glasses back then. So anyway, I got up there and sang a Kenny Rogers song with him. You picked a fine time to leave me, Lucille.
That's a classic.
Yeah. So anyway, I was at a Whataburger convention with my mom and dad. My dad spent like 23 years with Whataburger. And we were out there at the convention, and the owners of Whataburger, the actual owners of it, Miss Dobson was there, and some of the ones from Whataburger Vallis, the Andrews were there also, and and the bar was like packed, man, and so man, I got a standing ovation, and I was kind of like hooked on music after that. I don't know if it was because they were like, oh, how cute, this kid's up there singing. Yeah, I'm not sure what that was all about, but that feeling is what, like, man, I want to do this, man. This is what I want to do.
You got the bug, as they say.
Yeah, my dad said, man, you're going to have to take guitar lessons, man. So I started taking guitar lessons with Denny Mathis in San Antonio.
Right on.
And I got talking to my friend Bobby Flores, who passed away last year, but Bobby and I were really good friends, and we got to talking about our beginnings in learning instruments and whatnot. And he said, "Man," I said, "Who was your teacher, Bobby?" He said, "Well, Denny Mathis was my teacher." I said, "Really?" I said, "So was mine." And Denny was a steel guitar player there in San Antonio, and he played with the Bubba Littrell band. 40 years ago. But how long you been doing music, man? A long time, buddy. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's Denny Mathis, man. What a great guy. He said, man, you always known how to play guitar, so you just need somebody to show you where to put your fingers.
That's it. How old were you when that started?
I was about 11 years old, man.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, I worked and my friend Richard Bolner owned the meat packing plant there in San Antonio, Bolner's Meat Company. They did all the meat for the Whataburgers back then. We had this old K guitar, and my parents weren't going to just go buy me a guitar, and so he said, "I got this old guitar over here, Kelly." He said, "Man, you borrow this one." So man, I learned on that old K guitar.
Right on.
And it's kind of a 50s looking thing, and
you still have it?
No, I gave it back to him.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was their guitar, so I just borrowed it. And I worked all summer long in 1983. I used it for 2 years learning, and I gave it back to him. I worked all summer long at the Whataburger drive-thru in 1983 and paid for my first Fender cutaway guitar. So, yeah, that was... It was $600 back then. That was like a lot of money back.
That's still a lot of money now. Damn.
Yeah.
Hell
yeah. So yeah. Well,
you play the piano too, don't you? Don't you play a little?
No. I can.
Do you play piano?
I can.
I can get through "Don't Stop Believing." At least the first part of it. That's it.
The only thing I can do on a piano
trick.
is use a one of those. What do you? well, no, it's not a
Yeah,
capo,
what a
man.
capo.
It's
Not a piano, Bill.
it's an orchestrator type of a
Oh,
piano.
yeah, we did that whenever we wrote that song.
Yes, man.
Yeah,
You just use one hand and you can play like little chords with it, and it's got the beats and stuff like. That's the only kind of piano that I play. But man, my friend David Chamberlain taught me how to use that thing. So
it's a good tool to have, especially when you're writing.
Man, yeah, I think it's fun, just to. I mean, sometimes if you get tired of playing guitar, or if you're drinking a little bit too much, or you're smoking a little bit too much, whatever you might be doing, Anyway, it's just a piano where you can. You just sit there and you don't have to sit there and keep strumming the chords, and it allows you to, I think, probably think a little bit more.
Yeah.
When you're songwriting.
Adds a little extra, and it's just an extra tool.
Yeah.
As far as giving you something that you can only get so far on a guitar. Like, man, I'm not hearing what I need to hear, and then that'll add that little extra flavor to it.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, I do appreciate that. I couldn't even turn one on. So something.
Well, they're getting more complicated these days, but I don't know when I first saw my friend, using one of those things, in Nashville, I was like, dude, what is that? Oh man, you ain't never seen one of these before, man. And he said, oh man, these things are great, man. And I don't know how many hit songs they wrote on that particular type of a little thing. There's 2 or 3 guys I know that used those that were songwriters when I lived in Nashville. As Royce Porter used one a lot, and so did Donnie Keys. And so aside from David Chamberlain, man, but this is an extra little cool little tool that they, that I learned how to use. It's not for everybody. Not everybody's going to enjoy that, but I mean, hey. I liked it. It was great for me, man.
I agree. Kelly and I wrote a song together for my wife. At the time, she was not my wife. And we kind of I had an idea with a line in my head, and we were writing a song about give them something that they'll never forget. Remember that one? We still need to finish that one.
Oh, yeah.
But it was like an upbeat, anthem type song. And I said, man, I can't get away from this other line that I have in my head. Until I can write this, I don't feel like I can move any further on this song.
Right.
So you busted out that thing, man, and I kind of just hummed the pattern.
It's a feeling that the new girlfriend will give you, man.
I still get it now. We were married. Bill was at the wedding. We brought old Ted.
Well, man, I'd have been there if I hadn't have had to play that night. You know that, brother.
I know.
So,
In fact,
but
I've worn these shorts since the wedding. Look.
Oh shit! You still
there.
got the koozie.
Look at this, you ladies and gentlemen. That's from Isaac's wedding right here.
Hell yeah! Hey, Bill. Yeah, you had one. What?
Advertise the woman. Advertise the what did you call it?
The boss? I'm just kidding.
The boss. You got that right. At least you know now.
Bill was there, dude. We're like, man, someone's smoking weed. Who is it? Who's like smoking weed? And I went and Bill was like, hey man, it's a beautiful wedding. And I looked down there, I see the pipe. I was like, that's like,
Uh-oh.
I just left it out.
The party has
That's
begun. The party has begun. Yeah.
Yeah, whoever wanted it.
yeah, man, you missed a jam session. Bill got up and sang Alligator Crane. Can you tell me how you wrote that song, Bill?
I was I'm from North Louisiana and always duck hunted. I wasn't a big game hunter, but I loved to duck hunt.
Bill, can you fix your mic a little bit?
And I was
Oh, here, let me
I
get
got it. And so I was duck hunt, and a lot of times you're in your chest waders in the back of the swamps and the lakes and stuff, and then you're like it gets dark. Well, a lot of the gators are still out. The temperature's still hot. So when at night, when they're all moving around too, and even if you got a duck splashing around, they could be in between you and the bank or whatever, and you got to at night get around them.
Yeah.
But you can also get up in the little cypress trees and step up out of the water if you need to in a lot of places over there. So I thought, like, what would happen if, like, you could climb up in a tree and get away from an alligator, but what if the alligator could fly? Like, how you going to get away from a flying alligator?
Fucked.
And then I started thinking, well, how are you going to get a flying alligator? What's going to happen to get a flying alligator? How could that exist, right?
And then you looked over and there's a whipping crane standing there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I looked over there and there's a big old bull alligator, and he had that girl pinned down and going to town.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there's little baby flying alligators, alligator cranes.
Yeah, alligator cranes.
So that's how it happened.
Yeah.
I could say I was probably high when I wrote it.
Yeah?
And that was probably, I don't know, 15 years ago. I don't know, 2000. Maybe
Well,
20 years ago. I don't remember. 15, 20 years ago. It's never been recorded.
I know.
Me and Kelly tried to write like you did on that Pro Tools thing.
Yeah.
We tried to do a little demo.
Well, we just need to come over here and let Ryan Schumann here.
Yeah,
take
here at
care of
Suncoast
it,
Studios.
Yeah, what's the name of your studio here?
Suncoast Studios.
Suncoast.
South-
What?
South
Coast
South
Studios.
Coast.
Here at South Coast
Studios.
South
Yeah.
Coast.
Gotta
Here,
give
South
Gotta
Coast.
give
South-
old Ryan a plug.
This is
Come
our
here,
first
brother.
episode.
South
Give a
Coast
shout out to
Studios,
South
man.
Coast.
South
South
Coast
Coast.
Studios. Hell yeah.
South Coast.
Yeah, we're gonna get Bill in here. Shit, we might even do it here and put it on the episode. I don't know if you want to do that. It's all right, dog. No pressure.
Folks, if y'all hadn't heard that song out there listening in podcast land, you're gonna
It's crazy.
you're in for a treat listening to Alligator Crane by Wild Bill Stewart here. Yeah.
That'll get you. You need to put that on the. I have a TikTok, but I never use it. You need to tell
You need
you
to do a version
your-
of it.
your
Got to
kid-
get it out there.
your kids on
I
TikTok.
got some. My son is.
Tell
My
him to
son
help,
does.
man. We need a young mind because
He knows how to do all that shit.
I still can't figure it out. It fucking pisses me off.
Well, I'm gonna tell you that other song.
His
That other
Gavin does TikTok.
that other song he got, man's pretty funny too, man. I think it's just as funny as Crane is.
Which
man.
one?
That Pop It to Mama that he's got.
Papa tomorrow.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Oh no, you're just trying to be nice when you're saying that, Bill.
And then he's got River Rodeo. Remember River Rodeo? That's a good one.
And then my new one about marriage. You know,
We started
about
writing that.
Marbles Fall.
Oh, that
Marble
one.
Fall.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
sent me that one. That one's good.
Well, he's got
Marbles
another
Fall
one.
is finished.
He's got another one right now called that we're working on. It's called Burritos in Tacos.
Burritos and tacos.
Burritos in tacos or burritos
yeah.
and tacos?
No, burritos in tacos.
Let's make it messy like nachos.
Damn, you're in South Texas for 3 weeks, dog, and you're getting it.
That's an idea that's been there for that one for 10 or 15
Well,
years. I hadn't written
man,
it down.
so we got a good verse and the chorus written the other night. You know, we're just sitting around, and so we got to finish up on the second verse, and you know,
Yeah.
let Wild Bill go to town,
Yeah.
man.
Burritos.
That alter ego of the Wild Bill.
And tacos. Burritos and tacos.
Hell yeah, Bill. What's your process as far as writing goes? Do you have a particular, like, do you stick to one, do you get a prompt?
Oh, like a keyword or
Yeah.
an idea.
Or you just, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I do is I start with that idea and just start writing. Usually don't do the guitar for 10 or 15 minutes and just kind of get an idea flowing. Then after I get I'd say 8 out of 10 times it's the chorus that I usually write the chorus first, then the story around the chorus.
Yeah.
But sometimes it don't hit you like that, and you think you got the chorus, but it was really just a verse.
Yeah, that's true.
Old Bill and I won a Texas Country Music Award together, man.
Really? Oh, I saw that. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Man, yeah, on a song that we wrote. Yeah, it's
That the Christian one?
no,
Oh, yeah.
well, but yeah, I mean, the song was written for a movie for Luck Films,
Uh-huh.
and they'd sent me the script and everything. I mean, it wasn't written to be a Christian country song per se, but yeah, they kind of took it as that's what that was,
Yeah.
you know. So
Well, just it that's what it was made for. I
yeah.
guess. It just,
Yeah, you know that they're still the movie is still on the cutting room floor right now. You know
Okay.
how they edit music and stuff, and they do movies this exact same way.
Yeah, so we watched the movie like 3 times, and then wrote the song about the movie, right? The story for the main.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, Bill had me laughing, you know, through the whole thing. You know, I said, "Man, I don't think we can say that in there, Bill."
Bill can do that, but there's also like that helps get all the silliness out or whatever.
Oh,
and
it's
then,
funny.
And then you can like, well, we can say that.
Yeah.
We can say this and make it, you know, be a
Right.
serious song, just as easy as you can make it be a silly song.
Right.
But yeah,
All
man,
it takes is a word change.
exactly. Getting it right with both of you guys is, especially like I said, listening to you and then getting to hang out with Kelly, and then getting it right together. That was like a dream come true for me.
Yeah, man, me too, brother.
I feel like we write together really well. Another one, Jason Allen, and it's co-writing. Is that something that comes easy for you guys, or was it
I
hard?
don't he's the only one I've ever co-written, and me and you have started.
We
some
started
stuff,
one.
You know,
Well, it's-
balling on a budget.
Yeah.
well, I had a friend of mine tell me one time. He said, one guy said, "Kelly, if you can't remember that line, it wasn't big enough to be in this song anyway." And he said, and that old boy looked over at him and said, "Yeah, you son bitch." He said, "Man," he said, "we done forgot more hit songs we ever wrote." He said, "That's why we call it songwriting, not song remembering."
Man, if I have an idea, I gotta put it down in my phone like right away. Or if
Hey, you got to write it down. Yeah.
there's been so many, like you
record it,
said,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, that was or later on, I hear something that somebody says, I was like, I had that same idea,
Man,
and it just went from my brain and. boop.
I find myself using the notepad on my
Same,
phone
yeah.
pretty often, you know. So just writing down ideas. You hear somebody say something, you know, I start writing that down. You know, I just that's probably I think I love songwriting as much as performing. You know, it's just such a fun thing to create new tunes and stuff like that. It's just always been as big of a passion for me as playing and performing for people, man. I just the art of creating something new is just such a cool thing. I mean, whether you're singing it or whether somebody else is singing it, it's just
That's almost just as cool when someone else is like,
Oh, yeah,
hey, man, can I sing that song?
Yeah, I thought you were going to record Alligator Crane.
I
You
am,
said it,
dog. We're
You
gonna
said
record it
it
here at
forever.
South Coast
10
Studios.
years you've been saying, I'm going to record this song.
I know.
10
I just had to
years.
find the right place, man. And we're here where the alligators and the cranes come and migrate to. So you never know. We might have one just be born here in Portland, Texas. But we need to get you to do it, dog.
Does
Yeah,
Portland
yeah,
have
well,
alligators?
that's what I told
Their
him.
gators are everywhere, bro. Hell yeah. You've seen, I'm from Falfurrias. There was a gator like a couple of weeks ago that made the news because it was like, there's never been alligators down there and they're popping up everywhere.
You know, I think would be funny, man, is making up a cartoon of alligator crane.
Yeah,
that would be so funny.
Series.
That's your moneymaker, Bill.
That's your
Them
Sasquatch.
little
Or
wings
the
out there.
chupacabras.
Hey, watch out,
It's a
man!
chupacabra.
There'll be somebody out there saying, "Oh man, I'll write this
It's,
idea down, man."
This is Bill Stewart's song and his idea. If anyone tries to steal it,
Copyrighted right
It's
now,
the
folks. Yeah,
Havalote. Havalote.
Havalote.
Half javelina, half coyote. Havalote. The Havalote.
Yeah, that's a good one. We just have a whole series of inbreeding.
Yeah.
Or not inbreeding, but mixed breeding.
Me and his brother Gavin. Gavin's got good potential, and he's a good singer. Knows a lot of old country, and his youngest brother, we're writing frog bass together. And
I
frog
think
bass
you got a whole
is
genre.
it's frog bass is look a bullfrog popping
frog
some
bass and a
no, no.
javalote.
Hey, a frog bass is bullfrog popping some fish ass.
Fuck.
And then-
yeah.
and then-
Dude, this is gonna be a great
And then
episode.
Gavin came up with Throwing leg in the sawgrass. Throwing some leg in the sawgrass, frog bass.
So, Bill, what part of Louisiana are you from? Where's home? Mansfield?
Mansfield, Louisiana.
Right on. I remember
Shreveport, small town below Shreveport.
one of the cars.
How many
you
people
had,
are in Mansfield?
Maybe 3,000, something like that. Small.
Okay.
When did you move out?
18. So I've been rolling around. Tried college, flunked out. Tried different refinery jobs, Brown and Root, doing International Paper Company, and DuPont down in Beaumont, and all the different stuff like that. And then so just just kind of didn't know what the hell. Like my kids, my son's on the mission. My son knows what he's going to do.
Is he still
and my
in MMA?
daughter's, she's 21. She don't know yet. She don't know what. Hadn't figured it out. And it was 25. You're saying you were 11 when you grabbed the guitar or you sang for the first time and then you were hooked. Mm-hmm. Well, that shit happened to me at 25.
Damn.
And never sang before I was 25. My dad played and sang honky tonk. And then I was in Hawaii at Pecos River Cafe in Pearl City, living in Hawaii. There's nothing country but this one Air Force Base bar, and it's all decked out like Texas and live country band and everything. And I started singing with that band, and I was hooked at 25 when I didn't even know how to play the guitar yet. My dad mailed me his old guitar, and I started learning chords. Then I moved back to Beaumont, Texas, and 96, learned from my dad his favorite country songs, learned country music, playing the three chords and the truth.
Yeah.
That's all that counts, man. Three chords and the truth.
Yep. That's something that's as real as it sounds simple, but that's what country music is at its core,
man.
And Bill, so he started in 96. Did you record anything, or you have anything out there?
And yeah, I do have. I don't think it's out there. It's never been on the streaming anything. There's one on the CD Baby a long time ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
I still have a physical copy of that. That's another thing we're talking about too, is the drop in CD production. Yeah,
this was Henry Paul, the guy that he was the lead singer of a group called the Outlaws back in the 70s, rock band. Mm-hmm. Henry Paul then had the country band that had all the hits. So
Black Hawk,
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, Henry Paul, cool cat.
He is. So he did my record. He produced my record, and we did everything up in Nashville. 2007.
2007, dog.
That's the only time I've ever been in the studio was then.
And now.
That's right. Studios. That's right. This is the new. We starting over.
We're getting you here. We're gonna get you online. We're gonna get the alligator crane out there, because I know at least
frog bass.
I know
frog
at least
bass.
5 people that would download it and pay the $1 for it. So that's $5 for sure, Bill.
Yeah, man.
And then that's not including everyone else. Does that ever get like, God damn, I don't want to play that fucking song? Do y'all ever get that? Like a song that you've written, do you feel like that about that song, or do you love it just as much as you did when you wrote it?
I hadn't never got tired of singing that one.
Because I feel like an asshole, because every time I see it, I'm like, come on, y'all got to hear this fucking song.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I think you ought to sing that. Well, I'm not going to mention his name because but I think you ought to record that chicken song.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
No. Well, I mean, I think it'd be right up your alley, man. I'm telling you.
That is a funny song.
Yeah. He get proud of that song then when Bill makes it famous, man. I told him, I said, there's not very many. Most of the guys that do comedy songs, man.
Or Kevin Fowler has the funny songs. He's got some great funny songs.
Yeah,
Kevin
Fowler's man. He's got, that's one of the guys. When I first got started introduced to Texas country, it was like Reckless Kelly, Corey Morrow, Pat Green, early 2000s stuff, and then I heard Kevin Fowler's live at Billy Bob's, and he's got those fun, loving party songs and stuff. But then he also had All the Tequila in Tijuana, which was like, God damn, that's a country song.
That's a great song.
And that was one of the very first songs I ever learned on guitar. And then they say like, oh, don't meet your heroes, but Kevin's the same dude on stage, off stage. Like, he's such a nice freaking guy.
Man, I've seen Kevin sit there and sign autographs for. I don't people line a mile and a half, man, of people. He's real down to earth, and man, he he cares about his fans. And I told him that's one of the things I really admire about him, man. Is he just never forgot the roots of it all, man.
Yeah. I think that's what's helped him in staying so successful for as long as he has.
Yeah.
You have that you have
people.
that like aura and energy about you. I think that's why so many people gravitate. At least that's why I did, because I was living in New Braunfels. I just moved there. I didn't really have a friend, and you and I just so happened to be living a mile down the road from each other, and we just hooked up and became quick friends, like in a hurry. I feel like I've known you my entire life, but I feel like you have that capability and capacity to just really draw people in.
Let's start over. Let's do it.
You got it, Bill.
Do it, baby.
Hell yeah. We're at 30. Okay, so we're good for a little bit more. Y'all good? Keep going for a little bit more.
Man.
All right, cool, man. So what let's talk about dreams and aspirations for the next 3 months. Or you want to talk about that in 3 months from now, or do you want to get it now? Bill, what do you
What?
I'm just trying to relax, motherfucker. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about that shit. So
What are you doing in the next 2-3 months, Isaac?
man, we've
Upcoming
been
shows.
upcoming shows. So this December we'll be playing December 8th with Randy Rogers Band
Awesome,
in Laredo,
man.
Texas. That's pretty cool. And then December 30th we're gonna be at Brewster Street Ice House with Pat Green. So those are two pretty big gigs that we're excited about, and it's been a rebuilding process for me as far as putting a band together. Both of you know how it goes. You get guys that come in, guys that leave, and it's nothing personal. It's just business, and that's happened to me. And I was blessed to have a gentleman like Mitchell Pyatt on the drums, and he went with Charlie Robeson. He got the call, and I'm not going to be mad at somebody for doing what they love and continue to grow. I'm not going to be like butthurt or pissed off or, hey, man, fuck you. No, why'd you leave? That's bullshit. No. I've had some guys go get called up with John Stork, and I love John and everything he does, and I love those guys to death. And it's just been, you just got to roll with the flow, man, and you can't let that shit get you down. And I've been fortunate enough to get a group of guys playing with me now. Then we put together, we got a good 30, 45, 60-minute, 90-minute show. The music's great. I've been writing a whole bunch since the rebuilding process, so I got a couple of notepads full of stuff that I just need to sit down and actually iron it out and see what we're gonna do. So December should be fun. This past October we were with John Wolf. That's right. You and I hung out in Alice, Texas.
That was a fun night, man. I think we drank 2 or 3 bottles of his tequila.
I think we cleaned John Wolf out of Juan Lobo tequila. And I'm glad I had a driver, which I'm very thankful for, because I would have slept.
I had to get a driver.
I would have slept in my van that night. But yeah, we've had some good shows. This last weekend, I was with Clay Hollis and Gabe Garcia in Freiheit, Freiheit's an awesome venue. And I've normally done like Tuesday, Thursdays there, but this was our first Friday gig I've ever done. We had an awesome crowd. It's cool when you get people that actually are wanting to hear your stuff. That are just or you're just not background noise, or that have never heard of you before, but actually give you like their full on attention and like play something you wrote, or we've heard this song. Can you play that? That was cool, and we had a lot of that night. So we're just focused on getting more gigs like that, and got a few things we're working on. I had an interview with Jesse Turner from Signal. The Tejano band?
Ben, I know the band. I think I met the drummer.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so they run around Allison, up and down the roads a lot. Well,
cool
he started like a booking agency, so I had an interview with him, and I'd be the only country artist that they'd be working with. So hopefully, if things work out, we're doing a 3-month non-exclusive agreement, and just hoping to get some more gigs out there and keep spreading the.
That's awesome, man.
I hung out with your boys. Your old Jerry and the Roughnecks.
Hey, yeah, man. 1987, 1988, man. Or not 87 to 89. Yeah, I played in Jerry's band. He's one of the guys that helped me get going, man. Back when I was still a teenager. Man, I got a lot of great memories of Jerry back from those days, man. From the Gary Beck studio, man. I was there when they cut the original tracks on My Little Senorita and All Night Rodeo and all those, man. Those are like magical days back then. Jerry cut this song called "The Fool" that my friend Wade Duncan that got me in the songwriting business, man. Way back when. Wade passed away about 2 years ago, but man, Jerry and I and Wade, wrote some songs back then, and Wade's really the kind of one of the guys that really got me into songwriting, way back when. So took me in the studio for the first time, 1985, man. So those were the fun, getting started years, man.
Yeah. You never forget that. You never forget the people that actually gave you that shot or that believed in what you were doing. They were one of the big influences on me growing up, Jerry and the Roughnecks, because back then parents would take their kids out. They wouldn't really leave you at home unless it was with grandma or grandpa or something. But for the most part, at the VFWs, the KC Halls, you'd see families and the kids would just pass out on the tables or on the chairs. And I grew up listening to Jerry, and I was like, man, that's cool. The lights and smoke and people were dancing, and I want to do that. And that's kind of like what implanted that want in my head.
How old were you, Isaac, when you started playing and singing?
Man, like 12 or 13.
12 or 13.
So y'all were about the same age.
Yeah, man.
They were pumping a gas well on my grandma's land, or a natural gas well, and they needed a gate guard. So their child labor laws are non-existent in my family.
You've done that gate guard job before.
Well,
I've done that before too,
I was
man.
12 or 13, and they trusted me with signing in all these 18-wheelers and stuff coming in, and so I saved I got my first check, which was like $150, and there was a guitar shop in Kingsville, Texas called Getch's Music or Getch's Music.
Yeah, I remember that place, man.
My mom drove me there, and they were closed, man. The guy had just locked up, and I'm like, dude, I know what guitar I want. It's the black one in the back. I was like, I can imagine the thoughts going through that guy's head, like, this fucking kid. All right, he unlocked the door. I said, "It said that one. That's the one I want. I know. I've been to that store like 3 or 4 times, and I picked it out, but I didn't have the money till I finally saved up the money, and then." We lived out like 10 miles from town, which town wasn't big. It was about 5,000 people. And, I just would lock myself in my room after school or football practice and just pick away at the guitar and try to write, started out with shitty songs and still writing shitty songs, but they're getting better.
Hey, man. I heard a lot of guys up there talk about, man, we're just polishing up another turd.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. We're still working on it, but that's how I got started. Just
no. Some of them guys out there, man, they sit there and talk all that stuff. Well, how do you know you got a turd, man?
You might have gold. You just got to wipe it off.
Yeah, I'm telling you. That's why I'm saying you keep rubbing old Aladdin enough, man, and the genie might pop out of there, man.
You just got to keep hammering away at it. That's the only way to
Your
get
wish
good at
is my
anything.
command.
Damn it. Oh, man, I swear I saw a genie the night we were with John Wolfe. That was rough city, dog.
Man, but that was really cool, man, to get to be able to hear the song that John recorded of mine that night.
That's right.
Man.
That's right. That's
so, you was there with me when I first heard it, man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
that was heavy, man. I don't know if it was a tequila or just the emotion of me feeling what you're feeling, like, because I can't imagine. I've never had anybody record a song that I've written.
Yeah.
But for you, and then like John's been in the game for so long, and he's well established, and that's a badass song, Kelly.
Huge fan of his. Oh, man, I'm going to tell you what, man, Tony Ramey is the one that had that idea originally, and we wrote that in Alice. We were trying to figure out what year we wrote it. We wrote that song in 2004, What a Cowboy Was.
Yeah.
It was right when I first moved back from Nashville. Tony came down. I didn't realize it had been that long ago, man. I'm like, wow. Man.
I feel like that song's more prevalent now than it probably like it was prevalent back then, like when you wrote it. But now that there's very few and far between the hard nosed people that can actually work on their own stuff or just that take pride in doing that type of work.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, that's something that I feel should be implemented more in today's society. And maybe people wouldn't kind of frown upon it if they actually knew what the hard work it actually all entailed. And, the working from the sun up till the sun actually goes down, and you're doing a job that nobody sees. It's not on the big screen. You don't, you're out in the middle of nowhere just painting a picture by yourself.
Well, John's a really great singer, man. It's, I've known him for a long, long time, and I've really watched him progress over the years. And man, I'm just grateful to have him record one of those songs, man. I think he's a cool cat, man.
Me too. I agree. So that being said, I'm gonna record Alligator Crane.
Oh yeah,
Bill.
Sure. You've been saying it 10 years.
We've been trying to get in the studio, man.
You've done and recorded 3 albums since then.
We're gonna do it, dog.
You get scared every time right before the studio time.
Nah, I'm not gonna get scared this time. We're gonna do it. Oh man. Okay. So let's start. Well, I guess we'll just start to wrap it up. If y'all are cool with that.
Man. Hey, brother. I'm just here for the breeze.
Hell yeah. What other than Nashville, what other gigs you got coming up? You want to plug anything? Or
I've got a couple of Christmas songs that are. Well, I got one of them that I released last year, but I just released it to radio this year. It's called "Happy Birthday, Lord."
Oh, yeah.
It's a Christmas song, and then I've got another one that Tony Ramey and I wrote that I recorded, and it will be on iTunes, but it won't be at radio this year. But you can catch it on iTunes, y'all. We're going to have it on there real soon, like in the next, 10 days. It'll be on there.
Yeah.
And the song's called Christmas Balls.
So you got one.
He's got a funny one. He's got a funny
Merry
one.
Christmas to Baby Jesus. Another one called Christmas Balls.
Yeah, well, we're going to go to
Balls
radio
and
with that
Baby
one next
Jesus.
year. Yeah.
Oh man.
Christmas balls and baby Jesus.
You ever cut a Christmas song, Bill?
Yes.
You
I
did?
wrote a song called Crying Cause It's Christmas.
Crying because I remember that song.
Don't pay me no mind. This happens once a year, then I'll leave it far behind. Don't need no decorations for this God-forsaken room. I'm just crying cause it's Christmas. It'll be over pretty soon.
I like that, man.
Good old tearjerker Christmas
Goddamn,
song.
I need a shot of whiskey now.
Yeah.
Fucking A. I've never recorded
How
a Christmas
about
song.
since this is your first podcast, talk Isaac before we finish, and then y'all both talk about y'all sponsors and who helps y'all on the road and who helps you. Who's your biggest people that are behind you and your music? Throw some shouts out for your people.
Yeah, I just recently. I've been involved with a project out of Bernie, Texas called the Purple Heart Project. And I've played their gala the last few years, and they've announced me as their official artist of their Purple Heart Project gala. It's me along with Steve Trevino, the comedian, and then Mr. Bill Goldberg, the wrestling superstar, and another organization called Task Force Vosbo, which is a veteran-owned organization. They just help people that are coming out of the military wanting to start their own business. And a lot of people don't really know what the benefits entails of. My grandfather didn't. My grandpa was a Purple Heart recipient and was awarded 3 Bronze Stars, and he didn't even talk about it till we didn't find out till he was gone. So there's a lot that these military veterans benefits that they can get, that they can receive, that no one talks about. So that organization is just focused on that. I'm just honored to be able to do this because of guys like that have helped help get us down the road. They helped get us a trailer for the band. Nice. That was awesome.
Yeah, man.
Another organization is the Elizondo Foundation. Carlos Elizondo, Arturo.
Is that the doctor?
Yeah, the doctors.
Alice?
Yes, sir.
Man.
They have an organization that helps provide wheelchair ramps to people that live out in rural country. That either can't get government assistance or they just don't have any way to get it, and they're in a wheelchair, they're blind, and so that's what that organization focuses on. And we do a show in South Texas, in Ramirez, Texas, called Dovapalooza. So I'd love for you guys, if y'all ain't doing nothing next September.
That sounds fun. Man.
It's an annual thing. They also do a thing called Laguna Palooza, which is a big fishing tournament here out of Padre Island, Corpus Christi. So I'm very thankful and honored to be able to be involved with people like that. Thank you to South Coast Studios, our buddy Ryan Schumann, taking a chance on us and letting us use his studio.
Yeah, man.
But I'm just thankful. That's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. Thank you guys for saying yes to this.
Oh, hey.
And I consider you guys really good friends of mine and brothers in the music business, and I look forward to continue to writing with you guys.
So have you met Goldberg, man?
Hell yeah.
Did you?
Goldberg gave me a camper from my old Dodge that I used to have.
Did he really?
Yeah, we were doing a deal with KSAT News, and he was there, and we're promoting the Purple Heart Project. And Goldberg had his big TRX Dodge, and I pulled up my old Dodge. He goes, "Hey man, could you use a camper for that?" I said, "Hell yeah, I could put all my equipment in the back of that thing."
Hey man,
he goes, "Come to the house, and I'll give you mine." I said, "What?" He said, "No, I'll just give it to you. My wife hates it. It's just been sitting out in the backyard for about a year." So it was off of his first truck, and I got it sitting in. I don't have that Dodge anymore, but it's just
the camper.
Yeah, I got the camper. It's Rhino line. That thing's bad to the bone, but he's a cool dude, man.
Really?
Yeah, he's freaking awesome. He's a gorilla. The first time I was playing at Compadres, Hill Country Cocina, it's my buddy Mark is the starter of the Purple Heart Project, and I was playing his steak night, and it's about the size of this room, a restaurant, but this food's killer, man. And Goldberg walked in, and he kneeled in. He had to open the door, and then he's so big he had to and I saw him, and that was one of my childhood heroes. I grew up watching.
Hey man, I like watching Goldberg too, man.
Yeah, he was cool, but yeah.
What was he? Had a movie or something?
Wrestler.
He was a professional wrestler. Yeah, dog. He's been in movies. You ever seen The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler?
First one.
Oh yeah, well no, not that one. The remake. The remake. Oh okay. He's a cool dude, and he gives back to the vets as well. And
Nice.
he moved to
That's
Bernie,
awesome,
Texas,
man.
from San Diego, California. And
Was he in the military himself?
No, sir. No, but he's just always been a big supporter. And
Right. Well, man, Bill played a Wounded Warrior Project.
Yeah, who was that, Kelly? Tell him the name of it.
Eric Gonzalez with the CMO.
It would be
Wounded Warrior Project?
Combat
Yeah.
Marine Outdoors. Combat Marine Outdoors.
Yeah, they do that once a year, and they asked us to come down there and play for the Wounded Warriors, and I said, man, absolutely.
They take them on fishing trips, hunting trips. They pick them, and then they all, get it. There was a chef, James, did some badass cooking.
He did, man.
And food was
deal.
great, so that's what they give them, a little special hunting trip or fishing trip, whatever.
Yeah, that's I've done a lot of those for a few different organizations, and that's something that kind of got me introduced with Mark and then the Vosville guys. But it's just something about getting out in nature, man, and just kind of disconnecting from everything and just kind of roots you back and grounds you to the earth. And it's crazy because hunting and fishing is so expensive nowadays too.
Yeah,
so,
it is.
especially if you're not from here, or if it's to go get on a buck, you're gonna pay thousands of dollars. And who really, realistically, with bills and the way life is now, has that, but wants to experience that. And that's something I've always loved about getting, because I just get to go and hear their stories and then sit around a campfire and just listen to them and play a song. And maybe I've had a few of my songs connect with a couple of guys that have made me lifelong friends, like my buddy Michael Carnell. He's a Marine Corps vet.
Yeah.
And I was on a super hunt with him one time. They took his whole family out there, and it was you create these bonds of people, and that there's very few things that are as intimate as just sitting around a fire. I think like that's very.
You can't get no better than a campfire, beer, and country music, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good note to end it on. Campfire, beer, and country music.
I'm telling you, man, when it gets a good country music song there.
Yeah, I'm right. It is.
Yeah.
Right on, gentlemen. Well, I'm thankful that you guys did this, Bill. Anything you want to plug?
Who could I plug? I'd like to plug 1 2 1 2 plug 1 2 plug 1 2. As long as they're 25 to 30 years old.
You're sponsored by Dairy Burger? Is that what you got on your head?
I'm sponsored by all the fine, beautiful ladies from 25 to 32 years old.
Yeah.
I'm a dirty old man.
That's why we love you.
Well, he'll be healed up for you here before long,
yeah.
girls. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Kelly, anything you got to say?
Oh
Plug
man,
one.
just great to be here with you, Isaac. Man, it's awesome to be here on
Hell yeah.
first program numero uno,
Numero uno.
amigo.
Yeah, this is the first one.
Man, South Texas amigos.
Damn
man.
right. Yeah, now we got Bill down here.
Oh,
The
shit.
three amigos.
Oh,
We
shit.
can make some magic happen. We can write some songs. Y'all, Thanksgiving's coming up, so y'all be safe.
Yeah, man, happy Thanksgiving to
Happy
everybody out
Thanksgiving.
there in
Be thankful. Be
in
grateful.
podcast land. Yeah,
Thankful
man.
for the breath we got, because it ain't promised
thankful.
tomorrow.
Amen. Thank you, Lord.
Love yourselves, love one another. Thank you guys for being on here. The first ever After the Gigs podcast. My name is Isaac Jacob. Thank you, Mr. Ryan Schumann, South Coast Studios. We'll catch you on the next one.